Specforce is the brand new of training program from ex-SWAT team leader Todd Lamb. This program focuses on helping both men and women who are struggling to get rid of that stubborn fat around their stomach and six-pack abs by using Special Forces core and ab training secrets to finally get the flat stomach and defined six-pack abs they're looking for. When you're an elite Spec Ops unit, it's critical to be in the best shape possible because you need every advantage possible when dealing with some of the people these guys deal with on a daily basis. A lot of us just go to work, do our job and drive home without any real sense of danger, but these guys go to work every single day knowing it may be their last. And Todd, with years of experience under his belt turning these guys into elite operators, is sharing his Special Forces core training methods in Specforce Abs so you can have those six-pack abs you always wanted. In this Specforce Abs review, we'll dive deeper into Todd Lamb's new program and see what it's all about. Specforce uses 5 special force factors for six-pack abs. One of the main problems is that traditional ab training doesn't work and in reality may be causing more harm than good. In some cases, common ab training can actually add inches to your waistline. More and more studies are coming out showing that traditional sit-ups and crunches are one of the quickest ways to injure your spine. In Spec Abs you'll discover 5 specific core training factors which allow these guys to have rock-hard, six-pack abs. These factors include 1. Abdominal armoring, 2. Asset stacking, 3. Fixed angle contraction, 4. TQ work, UPS strategic target selection. Now this sounds a little fancy, but Specforce Abs will explain all of it in detail. When these 5 methods aren't used, your waistline can thicken and your chances of inflammation keep going up. Increased inflammation also stops your ability to burn fat right in its tracks. So what you won't see in Todd Lamb's Specforce Abs program is traditional ab and core training techniques. Now I know you keep hearing me use the word core and core training, and if you don't know what this term means, that training your core is what leads to you developing your abs. Get solid, six-pack abs is the reality of the situation. As Specforce Abs shows, most people work in reverse and attempt to train their abs, which only ends up in failure for most people. In the next part of this Specforce Abs review, we'll look at 3 risks of traditional ab and core training. 3 traditional ab and core training. In addition, Todd Lamb's Specforce Abs also talks about 3 critical ab risks that you got to avoid if you are looking to become the best version of you, especially if you are looking to shed unwanted fat and rock an amazing six-pack. Risk: accelerated aging. When you're not training your abs correctly, your upper abdominals become super overactive, which then causes the upper body to pull forward. This seems crazy, but this is what causes a hunch-like posture, which puts more pressure and a lot more stress on your lower back. To make matters worse, your breastbone and your pelvic bone will start to touch, which causes your internal organs to compress, and when your body isn't working the way it should, this can, as Specforce Abs says, cause accelerated aging. Risk: belly. We've all heard of pot belly, and a lot of us suffer from it or have suffered from it at some point in time. Can you guess what is one of the major causes of pot belly? If you said lack of proper core training and core strength, you would be right. Specforce Abs stresses that improper training makes you look a lot fatter. Are you starting to see how everything comes back to core training? Training using improper methods causes a set of muscles called hip flexors to become tight. Hip flexors are critical to good health in the psoas major, one of these hip flexors which is connected to the discs on the lower back. Once again, when you aren't doing proper ab training, you end up tightening the hip flexors, which then can cause you to pull the pelvis outward and a little down. All of this stuff happening is causing you to end up with a nasty pot belly. Specforce Abs will show you step by step how to do the proper ab training and core strengthening exercises to get the best results. Risk: damage. Anyone claiming traditional ab exercises are helpful is plain wrong and can be pretty dangerous to you in the long run. The majority of these ab exercises cause something called extreme flexing. This problem is known to increase intradiscal pressure. Specforce Abs says fluids within your disc eventually leak out, which can cause disc hernias, protrusion, and even worse. These are proof that traditional exercise methods are doing more harm than good, and if you really want solid results without all the injuries, then following the 5-step approach outlined in Specforce Abs is the way to go. Why is Specforce Abs for men and Specforce Abs for women? Specforce Abs is unique in that there is a program for men and a program for women. At first glance you might think this is because men and women have to train different, but this isn't the case at all. When Todd works with private clients who are women, he trains them in exactly the same way as men. The difference comes from hormones, and the fact is that a woman's hormone balance is nothing like a men's hormone balance. Completely different. So ABS for women approaches help women develop that firm, toned shape that men just love and find sexy and attractive. So don't have to worry about Specforce Abs making you bulky or anything. Since hormones produce a different response when it comes to ab training, they will experience different results than a woman. Specforce Abs was designed to help men increase IGF-1 and testosterone, which are critical for men and help to burn fat and pack on lean, toned muscle. The end result is tight, toned, six-packs abs, and the cool thing is that this program helps remove the fat around the midsection, so you'll be able to see the abs too. Even men older than 30 can develop a strong core and six-pack abs. Specforce Abs isn't just for young people either. Todd was in his best shape when he was over 30, and some of his private clients are in their 50s, 60s, and he has a few that are well into their 70s. These ab and core training techniques work regardless of your age. The key is your desire to follow through and commit to the program. I bring cause a lot of people buy fitness programs and then claim after 2 or 3 weeks that it doesn't work, but when asked if they followed the program, most of them will say they didn't finish it or didn't commit 100%. Fitness six-pack abs isn't something you get from reading a book or buying a program. It comes from putting in the time and effort, and when you do, I think you'll be surprised at how quick you'll see results. Program Specforce Abs is one of the most unique ab training programs I've run across, because unlike most programs, it tells you to follow unconventional advice instead of mainstream ab training information. This entire program is based on real-life training secrets done by elite Spec Ops members. Unlike other ab trainings, Todd Lamb tries to really educate you on what you've been doing wrong so you can learn from it, and then what you need to do now to achieve the results you're looking for. Specforce Abs is easy to consume, and since there is a program for both men and women, no one is left out. Todd also focuses on building a strong core first, which then helps develop your six-pack abs. This is critical in my opinion, as it leads to a much stronger foundation. The entire program is digital, which means no waiting times. All you have to do is pay and you'll get instant access. Specforce Abs also comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee, so if you are not happy with it for any reason, just ask for a refund. Cons: my biggest complaint with Specforce Abs is the lack of a video training module. I would have loved to see some follow-along videos or workout videos, as I'm really into video. Currently, and this may change since I have an early review copy, there isn't a video component. It's just the handbook and the 2 bonuses. But don't let that make you think this material isn't legit, because it's some great content. Everything in the handbook is all you'll need, and the bonuses are just that, bonuses. Specforce review conclusion: it's hard for me to say this is the best ab training program out there, because there are a lot of good ones, but I'm comfortable in saying that this is one of the best ones out there. A lot of core training and ab training products are full of fluff and hype, and their secret method is do crunches, lol. Todd Lamb really does a great job of explaining the different core strengthening techniques and exercises, and I think I'm still most impressed with the 5 factors I mentioned earlier. This step approach really made a lot of sense to me, and I'll be keeping that in mind going forward. I think Specforce Abs for women and Specforce Abs for men does a great job of educating people on the dangers of traditional ab training, and then provides a safe approach which supercharges results. So if you want to get rid of that fat around the midsection and sport some flat, sexy, six-pack abs, I recommend you check out Todd Lamb's Specforce Abs program and give it a try. You can find out more information about it by visiting the official website.